Hey shipmates, what a great day to get together, and we got wonderful weather, so a nice small intimate crowd, and I think that's the way we want it. We're here in New Bedford to celebrate MSD's transition from a Marine Safety Detachment to a Marine Safety Unit. But Rob, I know this, but you've always been a unit. You've always been a unit to me. You've always been a unit to the sector, and you've all been the unit all along. The things that you do for the South Coast, the impact that you have on this community is bar none, and detachments just don't have that level of impact. You are a separate command that stands on your own and autonomously acts. And so it reminds me of one of the most iconic moments in Hollywood history, the end scene of The Wizard of Oz. After Dorothy defeats the Wicked Witch of the West, and the wizard takes off in his balloon, and Dorothy's left there, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, comes down and tells Dorothy that you had the power all along, right? And you've had the power all along. Just not the ruby slippers. So we'll have to get you a pair of ruby slippers. And we're going to have to give you your ruby slipper protocol so that you know how to use that power. But you've had the power all along, this is really just a formality to transition you from a Marine Safety Detachment to a Marine Safety Unit. Couldn't be more proud of you. Couldn't be more proud of the impact that you've had here in combating the opioid crisis, both ashore and at sea. Dealing with just really turning around our relationship with the commercial fishing fleet, and the work that you've done to make sure that the wind energy that has come to New Bedford operates in a safe and professional manner. So I couldn't be more thankful to have you here, Rob, at the helm. You've always been a skipper in my book. Now we're just making it official.
Thank you, Captain.
Thanks, Rob.
Good morning. At this time, I will read my orders. From Commander, U.S. Coast Guard District 1, to Lieutenant Robert B. Norcott, U.S. Coast Guard. Subject, orders, unit commissioning. As authorized by U.S. Coast Guard Operating Facility Change Order 005, TAC 24, I direct you to establish and assume the role of Commanding Officer, Marine Safety Unit, New Bedford, no later than 1 April 2024. The establishment of MSU New Bedford marks a complete transfer of military justice and other commanding officer of military personnel authority for MSU New Bedford members from the parent command of Coast Guard Sector Southeastern New England. Captain. Thank you, Captain Skipper. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming today to celebrate this unique and significant occasion with us. Over the past 2 months, the crew of Marine Safety Unit New Bedford teamed with personnel from 2 units and strategically worked together to complete several administrative tasks and establish this unit for this particular occasion. I am beyond grateful for their support and assistance over the past few weeks. And with that, I would like to present the crew with the Coast Guard Meritorious Team Commendation to recognize this achievement. Military personnel, attention to award. The Commandant of the United States Coast Guard takes pleasure in presenting the Coast Guard Meritorious Team Commendation to the crews of Marine Safety Units New Bedford and Cape Cod for service as set forth in the following. For exceptionally meritorious service from 26 February 2024 to 27 March 2024, executing the U.S. Coast Guard's Operating Facility Change Order 005, TAC 24, to disestablish Marine Safety Detachments Cape Cod and New Bedford and establish both as marine safety units in their respective locations. Over this 4-week period, this team of 16 personnel adeptly planned and executed the short-fused establishment of the MSU while maintaining daily operations, including directing all marine safety and security activities across 2,500 square miles of area with an inspected fleet of over 170 commercial vessels and 49 regulated waterfront facilities, as well as responding to several marine environmental pollution incidents. Demonstrating dedication and initiative, the team flawlessly coordinated with 12 U.S. Coast Guard program offices spanning finance, property, shoreside infrastructure, and shore forces support to effectively complete two 36-line item administrative unit stand-up checklists. Capitalizing on their experience and expertise, the team was instrumental in developing the unit's standing or operating procedures and mission management systems, ensuring both MSUs and their members remained ready for future operations. Displaying keen attention to detail, the team was vital in identifying and purchasing infrastructure and supply items necessary for upgrades, daily operations, and the unit's assumption of command ceremonies. This collaborative approach, effective communication, and adaptability displayed throughout this process allowed the team to overcome numerous challenges to establish MSU Cape Cod and New Bedford ahead of a service-wide deadline. The dedication, pride, and professionalism displayed by each member of Marine Safety Unit New Bedford and Cape Cod are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. The operational distinguisher device is authorized for the Commandant, C.J. Prindle, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard, Commander, Sector Southeastern New England. Congratulations, at ease. My next order of business involves designating my second in command to not only abide by Coast Guard regulations, but also affirm continuity of duties and responsibilities under my authority. While the overall command of a unit may rest with its commanding officer, such leadership remains a team effort, and a dutiful command cadre exists to ensure directed authority is carried out, sound recommendations are afforded, and appropriate tasks and roles are delegated. As such, Chief McDougall, please join me at the podium. Thank you, Chief. From Robert B. Norcott, Lieutenant, Coast Guard Marine Safety Unit, New Bedford, to Corey W. McDougall, Marine Science Technician Chief. Designation as Executive Petty Officer. Pursuant to Coast Guard regulations, you have been deemed fully qualified to carry out the duties and responsibilities of the Executive Petty Officer. In addition, you're responsible for the overall discipline, organization, and coordination of the command, ensuring that I remain informed of all deficiencies and difficulties that may affect or compromise operational and personnel readiness. You are hereby authorized to sign documents by my direction, as well as correspondence that does not change or affect policy, or of which is sent to a higher authority. This designation will terminate upon proper relief, permanent change of station, or unless rescinded by higher authority. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief. Congratulations.
Thank you, Thanks, Chief. The current crew of Marine Safety Unit New Bedford is the commissioning and plank owning crew of this unit and may be appropriately recognized as such. In order to properly recognize our individual plank owners, I ask that Captain Prindle and Commander Singletary both join me at the podium to present the crew with their certificates and planks. The Captain and Deputy Commander are permanent and senior cuttermen, the Coast Guard's term for underway or at-sea sailors, who have commanded units both afloat and ashore. They not only honor the ages-old traditions of the commissioning ceremonies, but also value the true meaning of command assumption. I will now read the coveted plank owner certificate for the crew of Marine Safety Unit New Bedford. And the unit commissioning plank will be accepted on behalf of the crew by Chief McDougall. Friends. Know all ye by these presents, and to all landlubbers, sea lawyers, salts, swabs, square knot admirals, gold brickers, and other scavengers of the seven seas. Greetings. The great members of Marine Safety Unit New Bedford were the honored and illustrious crew which forever distinguished themselves when they commissioned MSU New Bedford. And therefore, this good and sufficient reason are entitled by the laws of the sea to all the rights and privileges of plank owners, and are hereby granted clear, free, open, and unencumbered title to one plank for the above-mentioned command. Selection to be made according to the treasured and honored records contained in Davy Jones' log. Disobey this order under the penalty of our royal displeasure.
I think gold brickers is my favorite part. Congratulations.
Okay, these are for you. And then these are for you, Deputy. Thank you, sir. Would the following members come to the podium as announced to receive your plank owner certificate and plank? Mr. Brent Desiree. And Brent himself is a retired chief bosun's mate, former officer in charge, and had his own assumption of command several years ago.
Davy's longer.
Davy's
ledger a little bit too much these days.
There's a lot of displeasure there, isn't there?
MST3 Ben Fratty. MST2 Alyssa Davis. And the newest executive petty officer in the Coast Guard, Chief Corey McDougall.
And Rob, I got one more here for you, buddy.
Sir.
Yeah, to Lieutenant Robert Norcott, United States Coast Guard.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Commander. I would be remiss for not mentioning that two of our other plank owners could not be with us today, so I'd like to recognize that MST2 Timothy Fox and MST2 Joseph Beatty duly have their names etched in Davy Jones' log and have been awarded commissioning certificates and planks accordingly. The crew of MSU New Bedford is an impressive one. Similar to our predecessors, MSU New Bedford is responsible for directing all federal on-scene coordinator, captain of the port, and officer in charge marine inspection activity through 557 square miles of area, including New Bedford, Tiverton, Point Judith, and Fall River, which includes the only container port in the entire sector area of responsibility. Our operational missions include commercial vessel inspections, commercial fishing vessel examinations, facility, safety and security inspections, marine casualty investigations, waterways management, and pollution prevention and response operations. The MSU's inspected fleet of responsibility covers 40 commercial vessels, including 4 high-capacity ferries, 2 school ships, and 6 research vessels. We also have a fleet of over 372 commercial fishing vessels and 31 regulated waterfront facilities. I've been extremely proud of the work this team has been able to accomplish over my last 2 years, 3 years at this unit, and it's truly been an honor to be your commanding officer, as well as the inaugural plank-owning commanding officer of Marine Safety Unit, New Bedford. Thank you to Sector Southeastern New England for your continued guidance and support, and we thank you all for attending this special, momentous day with us. This concludes today's ceremony.